Who would like to make some delicious homemade meatballs and homemade tomato sauce? Extra bonus, the meatballs are gluten-free and you'd never know it. Come on. Hi. Who doesn't love homemade Italian meatballs with homemade tomato sauce? It's easy, quick, and you know what? You'd never know that it's gluten-free. Let's make it together. Start by mincing a small onion. On the stove, put 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil on medium heat. Add your onions to saute till they're translucent, not burnt, while you're making the other ingredients. Add about a half cup of almond milk. You can use beef broth, and if you don't want to make it gluten-free, regular milk. To your breadcrumbs. I'm using Italian seasoned gluten-free breadcrumbs. They taste the same. By the way, the ingredients and the recipe will be posted in the description. I use a mixture of beef, pork, and veal. At least use beef and pork. If it's only beef, I find it's a little tough. So I have about 2 pounds. I'm gonna add 2 eggs, add a couple of tablespoons of Italian seasoning, coarse salt and pepper, 3 minced garlic cloves, the sauteed onions, and the breadcrumbs that we're soaking in the almond milk. And I also add about a half cup, maybe even a little bit more, of pecorino romano, or you can use Parmesan. I love the Romano. Then you're gonna mix it up nicely until it's well combined. This is Italian food, so don't forget your nice red Montepulciano, or maybe a Sangiovese, or anything you like. I then form the meatballs into a ball. I like them at least 2 or so inches thick. Growing up, we call that standard Italian sized meatballs. Then put it into a 425-degree preheated oven for at least 20 minutes. Keep an eye on it until it starts to brown. While the meatballs are baking, I get a large pot out, add a little bit of olive oil, a couple of bay leaves, some Italian seasoning, a little garlic, salt and pepper, and I add the tomatoes. I use certified, look for the labels that say certified and DOP, San Marzano tomatoes. This brand is Cento. I happen to love them. They're whole peeled tomatoes, but we're gonna have to blend them up a little bit to make them into sauce. To break up the tomatoes, I use an immersion blender. If you don't have one of these, get it. They're fantastic. You can put it into any pot and it'll blend up the whole tomatoes or whatever else you're cooking. Meatballs and sauce are smelling great. I think the meatballs are done. All right, we're gonna put this in the tomato sauce now. All right, we're gonna let this simmer for a couple of hours, forget about it, until it's time to come back to make the pasta. I'm gonna have regular pasta because the gluten-free meatballs taste like any other meatball. But for my daughter who can't eat gluten, I'm gonna make some chickpea pasta by Banza. Water's boiling, add the bucatini and the gluten-free chickpea pasta. Let's give this delicious meatball a try. Fantastic, enjoy.